Hi guys, welcome to the sacred space. I felt called to bring this in today. You're going to have to let me know if you can hear me. I've got like different earbuds in. So if you can hear me, make sure that you comment below that you can hear me. We are moving into what I do bi-monthly here, okay? Bi-monthly, I go into this sacred space within a small group on Zoom. And today there was all of this resistance. Okay, we're going into the emotional core. All right. And maybe it was because we're going into the emotional core during the new moon in Cancer, but there was a lot of resistant energy. And so I was like, well, maybe it wants to be done differently. Maybe there's a different choice. Maybe people need a little bit of a different space today. And there's the thing that, yes, some people needed a different space today. And maybe it was because some of you were calling for this sacred space to come in. So as we start our sacred space, okay, we're bringing in a safe space to be authentically you, to share what you authentically need to share, to open up to the connections with our guides, with spirit. It doesn't matter if you've ever done shamanic work, or not done shamanic work. None of that really matters. And so I am going to start by calling in the directions, okay? Now, maybe you don't know which way the direction is, okay? And you can just envision it in your mind with me as I call in the circle, okay? So, all right, we start in the direction of the east, okay? The beautiful eagle, the condor, Father Sun, the light that is love, okay, that is always shining. Even when you are in darkness, there is always the shining light of the east that is there for you, that will give you what you seek when you seek it the most. We bring in the direction of the south, the serpent, the idealism, the knowledge, the beauty that we can shed what does not serve us at any time, rest when we need to rest, enjoying that light of the sun. There's no reason when the sun shines on you that you have to take action immediately. Sometimes we must recover. We call in the direction of the west, La Luna, the new moon, the illumination, the jaguar, so that when we are in darkness, we know our strength. We know that we are on the right path, and the signs and the symbols will be illuminated for us to make sure that we are moving in the right direction. We call in the direction of the north, the hummingbird, the sweet nectar of life, the adaptable energy to go in any direction that we need to stay on our path. We call in the cosmos which is always creating, never ending, that came from a spark, that is the spark, the stardust that we are all made of. We call in Mother Earth, Alpha Mama, creation of Pachamama, the fire, the heart, the loving and nurturing energy that is always there to transmute all of the things that no longer serve us. And we call in our own heart so that we may love and honor ourselves and each other most of all. Okay? So, what I wrote when I was getting ready for this sacred space was that showing up for yourself, right? That's what this core emotional blockage really comes in, okay, for our path. Like where we don't show up for ourselves is where we find that limitations show up, blockages show up, right? You start following someone else's path. You start doing for others instead of doing for yourself. And so the card that came out, right, it's clarity. You can see that is where the core emotion is in that chakra center. All right. And there's this beautiful unknown crystal locked away inside of it. And I found it interesting, okay, that old energy is crossing the speech, okay, crossing this space. And so what I got from this was that saying, speaking, singing, all right, conversation, the voice, the tone, the frequency, that really is what has to do with our emotional state. If we cannot speak it, or if we are speaking from the resistance of blocking that unknown energy, then we start losing who we are. Okay, we start losing our purpose. We start losing our path. Okay, so it makes us start thinking about, right, where are we speaking from resistance? Where are we choosing the greater? Where are we choosing to say what we need to say? And I always like, right, in the circle we share, and I always like to share something from my week that this brings up. And so, you know, sometimes when someone comes to me, I do as a shamanic healer, right? There's this part of me that, you know, has that ancient calling to just be the fire keeper within this space and to hold the fire for the whole community, which means sometimes, right, healing the community. But there's also an energy exchange that has to take place. It's why I always like to ask at the end of the videos and sometimes at the beginning of the videos, right, to make sure that you click on that like. That's the anja, that's the energetic exchange, okay, of my energy, spirit's energy, and then your energy giving back to keep the flow of energy going. And so sometimes when people come, I have found, and this is more in the past, I've done a lot of work on this, but in the past, there was a lot of wanting to just be the healer. And if you feel any sort of role or call to healing, even if it's just like as an artist, okay, creating something to bring light to others, there's this feeling that you have to do for others, and then you just wait for recognition. And there's no true energy exchange within that. And so, yes, there are times when I put out these videos, I'm doing it just completely on the honor system, right? That the exchange will take place. But sometimes people come in and they want you to give them everything and give nothing in return. And this can happen in your business. This can happen in your family relationships. This can happen in love relationships. Okay. It can happen in any place in your life where you are giving, giving, giving. It can even be taking place, like, let's say you're building a house. All right. You are putting into this house and remodeling and, you know, pounding the nails. And you might not be getting back what that exchange is. And it's not because the house doesn't want to give back to you. It's because there's a resistance within you. There's a resistance here in this core energy where you are holding back to the unknown, holding back to what the energy can give to you. So feel free to write below, like, what do you feel is limiting you? Where are you not receiving the exchange? Like, are you not receiving the exchange from family? Are you not receiving the exchange from a lover? Are you not receiving the exchange from your car? Are you not receiving the exchange, right, from a course you're taking? Like, where are you not receiving that exchange that is coming in and creating a limitation of the flow of energy? Okay, because it's really interesting. I was working with a friend today, and it wasn't really work. I mean, we were playing with the energy together, talking back and forth. And what came into me from spirit was that she does Sith work, okay? And I was thinking like the Grim Reaper, like, and they're laughing at me and they're like, no, there's no C. It's without the C, Sith, right? And they're showing this to me and I'm like, that's weird. Like, that word doesn't exist. Like, I Googled it. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing, Spirit. I don't know what you're talking about. And Spirit's like, it exists. So I go to Google Translate, okay? I put it into Google Translate, and Sith means loops. And I'm like, oh, I get it now, okay? You reach into the container, the energetic container with your clients, and you are helping them to see where they've left loops open that need to be closed, right? Or helping them to open a new cycle, right? It is loops, which is really very beautiful energy. And I think a lot of us are very much Sith workers, right? Especially within the energetic healing realm. Even as an empath, you may not realize that what you're trying to do is this loop energy. And then I started thinking about the lunar cycle, because we are in the new moon, and how, right, the new moon is opening a new cycle. It's opening a new loop. And so we have these 14 days, right, to get to work and create what we need to create and close the loop on the other side of it. And we get this possibility, this opportunity every single 28 days, right? Pretty much. And yet, how many of us show up for ourselves in that space, in that realm, to take even a minute to get clear about what is my intention for my energy loop for the next 14 days? Like, what am I going to create? All right. Because then on the other side of it, you get to release things that were not serving you, right? You get to release expectations of what is coming in for all of this. And I think that people as a whole, like, it's almost like there's a misunderstanding of manifestation, because the intention is in the moment of now. I mean, Eckhart Tolle said it the best, right? The power of now. It's not, when you manifest, you're not like, and a lot of teachers out there are like, where do you want to be in 5 years? Create it. Well, if you're creating, this is where I want to be in 5 years. Well, now we're 20 seconds more ahead. And the 5 years, 20 seconds more ahead, 5 years, 20 seconds more ahead, 5 years. You're always going to be creating for 5 years away. You're never going to be creating for, this is what I want in the now. You're never going to get to that beautiful unknown. It's almost like, those candies or a pastry. Oh, those pastries that have that really yummy inside, right? And sometimes even with candies, like, oh my gosh, we bought these caramels from Costco, right? And sometimes there's this center, right? Truffles. Oh, God, don't get me started on truffles. But there's this amazing center. And occasionally, right, that center is the best part. Like pastry, meh. But that cream filling or that jelly filling, like that's the real bonus. That's the real benefit of that little unknown surprise. But we don't get there. A lot of people never get there because we don't take that moment in the now to say, I am creating right now this. There's my intention. Okay, I am releasing right now this. That's my intention. All right. So I started asking Spirit, right? So what else do we need to know before we go into our journey? Okay, so first Spirit wants me to go back here to clarity for all of you. Okay. So let me put on my granny eyeball glasses. Okay. So the earthly meaning here of clarity: sudden clarity amid adversity, acute awareness of yourself and your circumstances, right? Showing up for yourself, finding unexpected strength and wisdom in a crisis, realizing the limits of a situation. Pressure cannot make diamonds from coal, okay? Trusting you will have what it takes when it matters. Challenging a misconception or calling out a false promise, isolate and develop an idea, talent, or goal to excellence without external influence. This is part of what I talked about in the the July astro pool. Okay. So the spiritual meaning: all soon clears, heals, and is resolved. Peace ascends within you like a glorious bud opening to the surface. Realization comes in a dazzling flash, and you will see the world and your soul as blessed as they truly are. Follow love to the peaceful space inside your heart, your power center from which all is possible. There's the unknown. All is possible and all is available. Okay. Very, very important that we really get that concept about ourselves. Okay. And so then I got these in out of order, I believe, right? Yes, I did. Okay. So then what came in, right, is the giveaway. The giveaway. So where do you need to set that intention and then just hand it over to a higher power, to your higher self, right? It's the challenge. It's a 23. That's the challenge. Giving away the power, because we're talking about your emotional core, your core emotion, your power centers, right? So there's a part of you that's resistant, right? How can I be in my power if I am giving my power away, right? How can I be in my power if I am giving my power away? There is the challenge. It's not giving your power away. It's releasing the expectations and giving the intention away to universal frequency. All right. And then you take the journey, okay? The vision quest, right? That's important. It's important to really engage. Vision questing is like moving meditation. Okay, it's where you put your heart and soul into the work and you open up right, to those messages that are coming in for guidance, right? I've sent this off to a higher realm, and now I'm just getting guidance. Like, how do I move this path? I'm getting guidance. All right. Where are you getting guidance from? The holy mountain. Okay. It is an energy that is just like us, right? We are made of stardust, just as the earth, just as the planets around us, just as the heavens above. Like, everything is this beautiful, like they're saying, right? This ebb and flow, this flow of stardust, of energy and conscious matter coming together. And so you're calling on the holy mountain to help you. You're calling on this alchemy of, like, the attractiveness, the seeking energy of your own being, right? To bring it into the 3D, to bring it into the middle world, to bring it into your life, right? Connected, so above, so below. Okay. So we're going to go on a journey. Now, a lot of you may not have ever been on a journey, and it's just imagination. Okay, that's the way I like to treat journeying. It's just imagination. Okay, we're going to use the rattle, and the noise of the rattle is just to go ahead and make sure that you are seeing perhaps what the DMT needs to create, right? It's laser focusing in that sort of trance energy to pull on our own naturally creating imagination space to get these messages. And so if this is your first journey, just imagine that you walk on a path into a park and you see this glorious tree in front of you, and you walk up to that tree, you just embrace it, right? And as you stand back and you're really like, I'm loving on this tree, I'm loving everything that it offers, its energy, it shows you a door. And as you walk through the door, it takes you down another path into your sacred garden. Your sacred garden may be a wintry tundra. Your sacred garden may be like the heavens above. Your sacred garden that you're going to walk into may be like full of wildflowers. It can be anything that your imagination brings in. Now, when you go into your sacred garden, you may have people come to you. You may see animals go by. Ask, okay, what are you my guide? And if they say yes, then what lesson about this question do you have for me? What is the lesson here? And the question that I chose for us to ask here, okay, is, what clarity do I need in order to release the emotional holdback of unknown potential or my unknown path? Okay, what clarity do I need in order to relate to, maybe even to release the emotions holding back my unknown potential or unknown path? Okay, and all you're going to do is just close your eyes. You're going to listen to the rattle. We're going to do this rattle. I'm going to see if I have enough time left on my phone. We'll see if I do, and otherwise I could go on forevermore, right? Because I do that. We'll do it for about 7 minutes. And just take a deep breath in, deep breath out, okay? Allow yourself to relax and think about, what clarity do I need to release the emotions holding back my unknown potential or my unknown path. All right. Okay, take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Bring some life back into your body. You can go ahead and take a second and write down your journey, and then we can share, okay? Okay. So you can keep writing if you want to. I will go ahead and share my journey. You can feel free to share yours down below in the circle. But I always start my journeys anymore where I walk through fire. Like spirit is like, no, we're not letting you get away with anything anymore. Like you are going to do the work. You are going to walk through fire and do the work to get to where you are meant to be, right? It's time. It's like baptism by fire every single time. And when I got there, I was doing like, shooting arrows at targets and throwing axes. I kept hitting the target. I kept hitting the center. And Spirit was like, you must celebrate your wins. You must recognize, okay, your own gifts, when you have a win, you must celebrate the win, right? That's part of that showing up for yourself. And that's part of the speaking, part of that voice that I was talking about, right? It's okay to say, I'm really good at XYZ. Or I killed it in that presentation. Or wow, the dinner that I just made was superb, right? It's okay to celebrate yourself. There is nothing wrong with celebrating yourself. And then I was walking with the wolf, and we were just walking in silence. The wolf, my pack, and the wolf got a little smirk on its face, and the owl came up behind me and grabbed me and pulled me up to the heavens. And I thought I was going to work with my guide, Thomas Kincaid. I was not. I was introduced to Miriam the Chaste, okay, which I'll have to do some research and see if there's such a person. But the thing I noticed about her right off the bat is that she was kind of hideous, right? Like when you think about that witch in the old storybooks, she was all hunched over and, warts and just not attractive whatsoever. And she was like, you're looking at my form. You are not looking at my being. And she showed me in her life where she started off her life feeling these feelings of ugliness and not being worth anything. And that she, sorry about that, she was not feeling herself, more or less, right? She was not seeing that clarity of her potential. But she did find someone that she fell in love with. And that person fell in love with her. And they saw her as beautiful. And then they had children. And those children saw her as beautiful. And she became a healer in her village, right? And the town saw her as this beautiful gift, okay? And so as she was going through this, she became beautiful. She started seeing herself through this eye of the collective. And as she showed me in her life, like the older she got, the more she resonated beauty. And it was that from within, that potential, that space that she had not been allowing herself, right? That clarity of not seeing herself as the beautiful being that she was, right? Letting the self-judgment in the mirror tell her that she was not what everyone else around her saw. And so it's really, really important that we, that we remember with every sunrise, with every sunset, with every open moon cycle, with every full moon release, that we are greater than what we are choosing to be, and that those emotions are what hold back our unknown potential and our unknown path. All right. So again, you don't have to, but feel free. You can come back and go through the journey right after the video's done again. And there's no right or wrong way. You may just see colors. Okay. And you may be like, I didn't see some owl. Well, what do the colors mean? Go Google it, right? You may hear a tone and you'll be like, wow, that was really weird. Maybe it's like a frequency, a G note that is calling to you to give you this clarity. And I don't know why G note came to me. If you know something about the G note that I don't, please write that down below. But maybe that's the clarity that you need. Sometimes it's just a feeling, and then later in the day or the week, you'll start getting synchronous things happening, and that's the message that you created from the journey. So it's important that we don't poo-poo on our messages, because our message was not like their message, okay? So, and I love that this is, right, again, surrender. Whatever you are giving when you release, when you go like into the new moon, I release my intention in the now, right? When I get to the full moon, I will release what doesn't serve me. Okay? There is a surrender that comes in this that is very essential. Okay? I'm taking this little spark and I'm sending it off in the now. And then I'm receiving awareness and creation in the now. Okay? Don't carry it forward. Yes, we're all resilient. But why do you think that Miriam was so hunched over, right? Was it that she was carrying all of this emotional judgment on herself, right? Rather than just releasing it and seeing herself as the gift that she was? That's a card 21. That's a world card. That's an ending of a cycle. And we have 4 doors that I talked about in the July astral pool. Okay. We're going through the 4 doors. That's why Spirit gave me the 4-door readings to do in the soul path journeys. We are having 4 synchronous events this month where different planets are activating Saturn square Uranus. Okay. And 4 different opportunities to have a breakthrough. 4 different opportunities to see your truth. Right? This is unheard of to have this kind of energy going into Leo season, which is about the strength. And then not only that, but with Leo season, we get a second opportunity at a second full moon in Aquarius. July full moon in Aquarius, redo August. More strength, more power, anything that you weren't able to release, boom. August full moon in Aquarius again, which that is very rare that happens. All right. And I'm going to close it off. I love that the last card that Spirit gives me is the genius of Uranus. Okay? There is the power. Like I talked about, when I think of that square, that is what happened when the Berlin Wall fell. So we have the power, the strength of Uranus, okay? Or Uranus, depends on how you say it. I've always said Uranus, and then I think of Bart Simpson and then I laugh, but that's how I've always said it. Okay. But we're going to have that hammer, right? Taking it to the old house, okay? The old idea. This is all a 9. This is all about your own self-work. We're going to take and we're going to tear down, right? The wall that we have put up blocking us from our unknown potential and our unknown path. That is what this square does. Okay, that is what pulled down the Berlin Wall. It will pull down the Berlin Wall that is inside of yourself, right? Engage in your true being. Enlighten yourself with this beautiful energy of creation, of love, of potential, right? Of what you have in the here and now that is a spark without any limitations, right? Dance all night, cheer, okay? For some of us, it's just choosing to no longer hide our being, right? We have spent so many lifetimes hiding our true potential. And now is the time to access it. Now we are being given the most immense gift. And this is all about unwinding that karmic energy, whether you believe in past lives or not. If it's all from this life, if it's all right, it can be ancestral, generational that you have taken on, that you decided that you were going to clear out. And if you have children, for heaven's sakes, yes, clear it out before it gets passed on to them, because these little children are crystals, okay? They are beautiful and they see things in like they're showing me like through lenses, right? Through these beautiful, this clarity that we cannot see. And they absorb and they will take on anything you give to them. And we don't want to give that to them, right? You don't want to give them the thorns from your heart. You don't want to give them those emotional restrictions that you have been carrying very, very heavily on your path. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Okay. And that right there, oh, when Spirit's telling me that it's something that I really need to listen to, I get this sort of gaggy feeling. And I've got that feeling with this one. Because like I noticed, it's funny, I noticed this just this morning, and I'm going to share this with you because I just feel open in this sacred space, okay? That I have done more follow through in the last 2 years with being open to my gifts than I have my whole life. And I've known I've had intuitive gifts since I was 4. Okay. But I never had the follow through. Like, I always had the inkling, I always had the intention to do things, and I never had the follow through, right? Like, I started writing poetry in elementary school, and I didn't follow through with it. I started to play the guitar and sing, and other than being in a band for a short time, I never followed through with it. I went into college in computer science. It was boring AF to me. Never followed through with it. For most of the things in my life that were meant to be of contribution, I didn't follow through with it. And I noticed that I'm seeing less of that with my daughter, but I noticed that a lot of things in her life are very similar. Like, she has that trait of, getting like attached to something. And, you could say, oh, that's the genetics of your father. Because my father would go to college for 2 months in one subject and ace it all and get bored and move on to the next, right? You could say that that's built into the DNA, yes, but it's also energy. And it's energy that was passed on. And so, it is very interesting because there is, I don't want to pass that on to her. I want to take that away. I want to heal that so that when she really has that spark of, oh, this is my true soul, this is my purpose, this is my right uncharted path, that she will follow through with it. That's the front and center goal, I feel like, here for me, right, is to make sure that I'm not leaving behind residual energy for someone else to come along and have to clean the frack up. All right. So every month I do this on Zoom twice a month within a sacred circle. We share. There are different donation rates that you can pay to take part. I think it starts at $5 and it goes up to $33 for the session. So you can choose, right? You don't have to, it's not expensive. I just want to, honor the energetic flow. Today, if you want to honor the energetic flow, you can just click on the like button, right? Or you can comment below and give that energetic contribution back. And I would love to have you. Like, you can go to my website, MindsetUnicorn.me, and you will always be able to find the sacred space link there. And I would love to have you join the next sacred space if this light, really shone for you. So we're going to close the circle, right? So Pachamama, creator of light, creator of all, creator of Alpha Mama, Mother Earth, we thank you for giving us this spark, this fire, this compassion to see ourselves in a different light. Father Sky, Cosmos, Sun, thank you for always being there, for always being on, always being available to us, always giving us faith. To the direction of the north, the hummingbird, the adaptability to choose our path, to release the old karmic lessons, to move in a different direction when it is not serving us. The direction of the west, La Luna, the new moon tonight, the jaguar, the beauty that we are strong on our path, The illumination, the symbolism will come to us when we need it. And to not fear being who you are. To the serpent in the south, rest and recover as needed, and shed what no longer serves you when it is time, knowing that the serpent is there to guide you and protect you as needed. To the great eagle, the condor, to the east, again, we've got the rising sun. Know that you will always come full circle. And when you do, you are to create a brand new cycle from that spark of love, because we honor each other and our hearts for being here, for joining the circle, for holding space for each other, and for most of all, right, showing up for ourselves and our true heart energy. All right, guys. So I love you so much. I hope you have enjoyed this sacred space. If you want to, again, you can go back all week. Next 2 weeks, go back and redo this journey. Listen to that, or just pull up shamanic drumming on YouTube, right? Listen to that and keep asking yourself the question. See what else comes up and just go with it, right? Honor yourself and honor this process. So, love you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your weekend and rest of your day for those of you that are coming in the morning. And I love you, and I hope to see you guys soon again. All right. Bye.